The next cartoon review I'm going to be doing for this month is My Life as a Teenage Robot, The Great Unwashed. This is yet another episode from Season 1, so I'm really sorry I haven't did a review of the newer seasons, but I promise you in the future I'll get to them. I just wanted to get to this one now since I'm actually really interested into doing a review of it, since this is one of those episodes that I actually enjoyed from the show when I was little. In the destruction car area, well, the employees just squished cars into cubes or whatever angles or whatever you call them. It's revealed that the dynamite salesman says that there's dynamite inside one of the cars, and Jenny decides to take the dynamite out of the car, but it's also revealed that there's another dynamite in one of the other cars. Jenny tries to get the final dynamite, but unfortunately she's too late, which ends up leaving her completely destroyed, damaged, and also completely dirty. Don Plima is going to be hosting a party of his own for anyone who actually gets invited from his perspective. And considering the fact that Jenny is completely damaged and the crushed cousins are in this episode, let's just say that this is one of those episodes where we get to see the crushed cousins just want to be in the center of attention while leaving Jenny completely out of it. I would talk about these characters of how terrible they are, but I'll get to that later. Jenny refuses to get repaired by her mother because of the fact that she has so many tune-ups to the point that Mom would easily punish her. So instead of getting repaired by her, she decides to go to a garage with tons of people who actually approve on repairing her and also giving her a new paint job. By the time Jenny returns back to her school, she gets into a center of attention and she's invited to Don's party. But considering that we're looking at the crust cousins, which I'm still getting to soon, they'll obviously want to be in the center of attention more than Jenny. So they go to the other side of the town and meet this person named the Mudslinger, and all they want from him to do is just to get Jenny completely damaged and dirty before heading to the party. Okay, I just wanted to get this out of the way. I really do not like the crushed cousins, but I don't hate them at the same time. Considering I've seen most of their appearances literally just getting what they want while also being ruthless to other people, I honestly think that what the motivations in this episode is honestly unnecessary. Especially that Jenny really doesn't deserve to not be part of Don's party after she got a complete makeover. So I honestly think that everything that what Jenny went through is obviously not her fault. Granted, she is a hero in the show and she always completely saves the city that she lives, but at the same time, the fact that the crushed cousins are just trying to get her out of the center of attention, it just really makes their appearance in this episode mostly unnecessary, and the fact that they're just really too eager to be in the attention. But if there's one thing I actually like about in this episode, is the fact that Jenny decides to actually step up to her game and actually gets a new makeover at a place that isn't at her mom's. Her makeover was really one of the only times we ever got to see her in the show, which is actually kind of disappointing. Seriously. The flames, the wet paint, and how he shines, that's literally something that really makes Jenny harder, and the fact that she isn't human like everyone else. Seriously, that really shows how much that people are just really liking her, because the fact that she gets a paint job in this episode, but not another paint job after this episode. I'm sure there is, but I didn't watch all the episodes of this show. And as she's about to completely take down the Mudslinger after her paint job is completely ruined, the Mudslinger says that it was all the crushed cousins' idea, and he hasn't been to a party at all. Which actually gave Jenny an idea by having him be invited and completely destroying the entire party and blame it all on the crushed cousins. it's a great way to give them punishment, and it is actually something that really makes the punishment worth deserving, since that the center of attention is really just nothing but ego inside of the bodies. And as for Jenny, she just heads back home and then cleans up, despite the fact that water is powerful against electronics, and Jenny is electronic because she's a robot. This image alone doesn't show zapping, and it's also further proof that Jenny isn't waterproof whatsoever. So I honestly think that this ending was kind of good, but it also doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And that's basically all I have to say about this episode in general. Yeah, not a long review, but then again, I really don't want to do long reviews that much, but I also need to get out everything I need to say, because unlike in other episodes, this episode really didn't give me a lot of an impression of what I feel about it. The Mudslinger is only here for only one episode, and that is this. And I honestly think that his appearance in this episode is just there just to prevent Jenny from going to the party. This episode, I actually really found it really entertaining, considering that it's mainly about Jenny just trying to fit in, and she uses this paint shop in order to actually be in the center of attention. Granted, she didn't got to be the center of attention at the party because she's now completely busted and dirty, but I will say that the ending was probably a little good, other than the fact that water beats electronics easily. But at the same time, it just shows that Jenny didn't get into the center of attention at the party and got more popularity at school. But considering this is the first season, Jenny needs to start somewhere. I give this episode a 7.25 out of 10.